Alright, let's see how the voice is. Using a different recorder on my new phone, so I'm gonna see how this goes. Alright, so this was initially my bank account. So I'm just gonna go over a few things, and hopefully the audio is good. I was asked recently about I think it was a rally trap account. So I'm going to just go over some things. The first thing, so technically I guess you don't have to be Castle 25. Although you can bring it up to Castle 25 relatively, with relatively low might. Kind of the benchmark, I guess, of a rally trap would be, I guess, around 200 to 250 million might-ish. There are players who have done it with lower end might, but depends on if you're going to be a Castle 17 or if you bring it up to Castle 25 or whatever. So this account here, I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm going to be bringing it to. Possibly a main account to where it can actually attack and stuff properly. So I have all this open, Castle 25. T4 is all unlocked. So this here, if you're bringing it to Castle 25, you're going to want to get the T4s unlocked. I haven't done much here, but you can do the bottom end of the military tree as well, because the counter research does help. Actually, quite a bit. So yeah, you can max this tree out. This is always helpful for like extra gifts and stuff like that. Hunting for your guild, so you're not just out for trapping, but you're actually still helping your guild out too. Yeah, you want to get your phalanxes opened up. Infirmaries is a good thing. Your max gem deposit. I mean, you want to keep the might relatively low, but some of these things do help, so you can bring it down to the wedges, or you can go into the army defense, army offense, and army health ones too, just to get them extra stats, but not necessarily needed. And that's under the army leadership. This one here, to do with your gear, you can open up the breakthrough. That allows you to forge the mythic gear. The darkness and stuff you don't really have to worry about if you're going to be a trap anyway. Some people will tell you to avoid unnecessary research, but like, say for your T2s, I would say max at least a T1 and T2s out. Maybe even do some of the field triage to help speed up with your healing. Your defense you don't really need to worry about. I decided to do that on all my accounts though, because I don't know. I still think adding the wall to your defense is a plus, but there are lots of people out there who will say otherwise. Your quick swaps at least open up 2, so you can have a set of fake gear and then a set of your normal gear. Your familiars, if you can open up pack 4, that would be good because of the familiars. Not necessarily needed though. You can just do up to 3, because then you get the gemming gremlin and the I have to look at that one. I forget the name of it. Trickstar. So at least you'll get this. So you can get some holy stars for the labyrinths. This one here for the gems. If you're opening up at least 3 familiar slots for your wall. Evil is a good one. At the start of the battle, increases army max HP. This one here too. At the start of the battle, reduces enemy army max HP. So when they're hitting you, it's going to be lower on their end. I mean, other than those 2, I'm not 100% sure what a third one you can throw on there is, but guess we can take a look at some of them. At the start of the battle, reduces enemy army def. I mean, you could. I mean, at least that way your troops are going to be hitting a bit harder. We already went over that one. At the start of the battle, increases infantry attack. You won't really be adding that one because you want to boost your army HP and stuff. I guess you could add this one too. Another one to bring down the defense. Or if you have an infantry front line, you could put this one up. Nah, I wouldn't really do that because it's the 10% drop of your troops. I guess this one, I don't know. This one might not be so good. Yeah, the ones where you're having to lose troops for the boost to kick in aren't really that good. You could put this one on there for the stun. I don't know too much about that one, so I can't lean one way or the other too much. This one is a possible maybe for adding it on. But that would depend on what kind of cap there is on troops and stuff like that. This one, honestly, I'd probably put this one on because it boosts your hero skills for the battle. And you won't really have time to put familiars and stuff on at the start of any battles. And that's pack 5 familiar. So the pack 5 familiars would be nice if you were going to be spending, but that's kind of up to you. So for your wall, army attack heroes are obviously going to be good. Then I guess depending on what your front line is going to be, then you can go by what you're going to add there. And some of these still add bonuses to your trap attack and trap max HP and stuff. So that's why I say about the wall. So you're still adding that little extra layer of defense on there. I really wouldn't worry too much about traps, but if you do, I guess depending on what you figure you're going to get hit with more, probably T4. So unlock the T4 traps and build accordingly. Whether you do like a mix across the front or not. My wall isn't that big, it's only 231,000 on there, but your troops, you're going to need troops. So if you're going with a mini trap, you can suffice with T2s. You won't really need to add any T1s, except for the ballistas. That helps curb when they familiar attack you and stuff like that, to check to see what you, when they're trying to test to see what your troops are. So they're only going to hit T1 siege. They're easy enough to train. But if you're a mini trap, and you're not quite certain, I would say go up to like 12 million. So that's 4 million each. Don't worry about the T2 siege, but do about 4 million each T2. That should suffice for you to be able to take a rally. Just be careful what you're going to be sitting in to take that rally. And if you're opening up T4, it's a good thing to have some T4 thrown on there, so you could probably get away with 300 to 500,000 each. So you could drop your T2 count maybe a little bit, but personally I wouldn't. I would leave it as it is, at about 12 million for T2s, and then go about 300 to 500,000 for inf-range and cav for T4s. You don't need any of the T4 rain or T4 siege. While you're building your troops, make sure you do all manners, because that's going to save a lot on how many troops you're saving. I got hit during this last KVK, so I got a bunch of troops in here that I need to get ready to bring out. This is all about what they're going to be sending. I'm not 100% certain, but if you see they're sending like, because how the cav blast, inf blast, or range blast work, they do have a main line of heroes, but it's going to depend on their buffer troops. So that's why you need a certain amount of T2s and that to make sure you're killing that stuff off, because their main troop type is what's going to be doing the damage, while your troops are going to be dealing with the buffer troops, so you want them dead. So this is all going to depend on what they're sending. So if they're, say, sending a cav blast, I mean, you could take it in range wedge, because you're kind of countering them and equalizing for the cav on cav and the range on cav. I've seen people do it without gear on, but I've never taken a rally like that, so I can't really speak to that. You definitely have to have a decent troop comp and be able to counter them. So pre-60, you're going with the Fiery Tomahawk, and you would be going with the Lunar Scimitar. For the helmet, you'd be going with the Indulgent Visage, if that's how it's pronounced, I don't know. And because you're having T2 and you're going to be on defense, you're going to want army HP. So that's where these scrolls come in. So even at blue, they give army max HP 4.2%, army attack at 4.25%. And then you can go with a blight ring, or I mean, I guess you could go with a cup if you have a cup to increase the attack. But I guess that would be more of personal preference. But this is what I was working on for your armor. You can go with the Armor of the Abyss. That gives the army attack again, and it gives infantry defense and cavalry max HP. But for this, you're more of going for the army attack. Or you could try and use this, the Regal Plate Mail. It's going to give you more army max HP as well. For your boots, these here, gives you range def, range attack, and cav attack. I wouldn't worry about those. Anyway, this would be the pre-60 set. Now, because my leader is 60, this is the mixed gear I'm working on. So I'm working on a cup. I don't have that many jewels on this account because I don't spend much on this account. So you're going with the Frostwing Greatsword, the Bumblebee Helm, the Firewall Plate, Dragon Talons. You can still go with the Lunar Scimitar, or you can go with the offhand Winter Mitts, because the Winter Mitts give, I think, the army defense and infantry defense, and they give army max HP and range attack, so they would be good for defense as well. But yeah, I got this one on. And then I'm just in training and build talents. My stats aren't that great, but you're looking at 250 on infantry attack, about 300 on range attack, and cavalry attack would be about 250-ish. And then your army attack is 157%, army defense 157%, and army max HP is at 192, which is the thing you really want to make sure that you have enough of. So big things is do things for your jewels. Like I said, I don't have many jewels and stuff on this account, so it's not that great. But try to aim for no less than blues in your gear. Preference would be purple and up, but you kind of have to go by what you're getting and how you're going to get them, like if you're going to spend or not. Your guild scrolls can be really good to get jewels. Like I just got a common infantry attack jewel there. They don't pop up a lot, but it's enough to help you boost them. I would also suggest working on this. Make sure you max this out every day. Because you get some little bits of stuff here that do help long term. Make sure you're collecting these chests every day. Nothing on your main account actually helps anything in here, but collecting the cards, leveling them up is actually really good because you get these type of stats. So this one here would give Cav 1% once it's at level 15, but you see in increments that it levels up. So 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you can boost your food production and stuff like that. Basically what I did with this account is I have it set up where with my gear and stuff on, hourly production is like 4.7 million. It's not that much. I could do higher if I added some more food farms and max them out. But my idea for this was I wanted to stay food positive for as long as possible while building up troops, so I could fill up the sanctuary and then build up more. And then, like I said, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this, but that was my initial thought on this account. So basically for your stats here, you're going to want to aim to 400, 450 across for inf, cav, and range. And get your army max HP and attack up as much as you can. For your heroes, for free to play, make sure you get Rose Knight and Bombing Goblin maxed out. So you're going to have to do some work in the hero chapters, but it's really worth it. Yeah, like I said, I got hit in KVK, so I got a bunch of resources sitting here too. Make sure you're going to have anti-scouts and stuff like that, so when you're going to be unshielded to take your rallies, make sure that you always put that on before you drop shield, not after, so they're not getting your comp and just avoiding you, because you want to actually try and bait them into hitting you. You can do castle skins, but ultimately, like I said, you want to try and keep your might initially probably around 200 to 250 mil. So you might get some solos, but you might not. But if you have a decent enough troop composition, then you can take rallies and stuff. Honestly, I think, yeah. And then for your 2 swaps that you can do here, make sure you have a set of fake gear on, and then your mixed gear. Go for mixed gear. Don't go for like a blast set. Don't spread your material resources too thin. That's why a mix set like this is good, because it's not using like say the Frostwing Greatsword, it's not using any materials for any of the other stuff, so you're building each one up with each resource, and you're not spreading thin. The cups, build one up and then build the next one up. So like get one to gold or mythic, and then do another cup. Cups are the hardest thing to, other than champ gear, of course. But the cups are one of the hardest things to actually level up. What else is there? Yeah. Another thing is while you're building up, if you're spending, I mean, you can buy packs like that, like speed up packs and stuff like that to get a lot of resources, so you might not be too concerned about your bags, but make sure you have a decent amount in your bags, because while you're being hit, healing the troops, resources can plummet really fast. So say if you're going to be spending to build up your troop composition, this would probably be one of the most ideal packs, Boot Camp. I think it's linear, which means it scales up properly. Like, so we got $6.99 here. That's what it is in Canada. So you get a bunch of resources, and they're all the 2 million and 5 million and 6 million for the gold, stone, wood, ore, and food. Plus, the gifts also help your guild. But buy this one outright if you're going to be spending. Plus, you also get some of the chests for the level 60 gear. That's going to help you out a lot. Plus, a ton of speed ups. As far as other spending, this here for your jewels is going to be a big benefit, because you get some of all the chests. I'm not quite sure if this scales up. I've never bought this one yet, or I have, but I can't remember what the scaling up is on this. But that's the best way probably to spend to get jewels. Also, this here, you're going to get some resources, plus the sack of jewels gives you the monster jewels and the champion jewels. So for like a speed set or a monster set, this year is going to give you army max HP if you're going for them in your gear. But I think for a mix set, you want attack jewels in your gear, not army max HP jewels. Even though the extra HP is always really good to have. Always make sure you got some relocators and random relocators and shields. As for other spending, I wouldn't do too much other spending unless you like got a lot of cash to burn, and that's just what you want to do. But other little things as you're building up. Oh, I hate the scrolling. I wish there was a better way to do it. The 30-day supply chest used to be a lot lower, and you used to get this surprise bonus on the side here. But so you get some research speeds, you get some normal 60-minute speeds, gonna help you build those troops. You get resources throughout each day of the 30 days. Plus you get gems equaled out to 26,250 by the end of the month. you get some tomes as well. And you get some of these here as well, so you're going to get extra gems there, the shiny surprise. Another thing, if you're going to be spending, is... No, not that. This here. It doesn't hurt to spend the $2 or $3 to get the bonus gifts on the side here. Get some attack boosts, you get some materials, you get more resources. They even give you some Lunite. This changes every month, I think. You even get some blazing embers, some monster chests, some healing speeds, a couple random champion chests, and long term that's all going to help you out. Now I have it on this account, but there's also a tome account, or not a tome account, a tome pack that you can buy that's $5. So it gives you some resources and stuff every day for as long as IGG allows that to be around. So that gives you 2 tomes every day and some resources and stuff. So that's also another plus to get. And then other little side things, make sure you get your gem trove going all the time. With your research, you could do some of that too. Because gems are always a good thing to have while trapping. But I think that's really it. Aside from like being in an active guild, if you need reinforcements and stuff like that, that's always a big plus too. Make sure you're, unlike me, make sure you're actually getting this going too. Whatever level you want to do that at, make sure you do your free stuff here. Not everybody does this, but you can also buy the one just to do that for the daily points, or daily points bar, whatever they want to call it. This here as well, I mean, this one only has the normal labyrinth, but my main account has the elite labyrinth. So if you're going to spend, the elite labyrinth also gives you some nice handy stuff. So make sure you're doing your free stuff there. Like I said, every little bit helps, and every little bit that's going to help you build up. As far as length of time to actually build up, that's kind of debatable, because it can go by how much you're going to actually spend or not. If you're going to spend lots, you can do it relatively fast. I think there's a video out there by Worthy Prince. I think he did it in I think he did a solo trap. I think he did that in like 3 days or something like that. So yeah, there's some other good YouTubers out there to watch too that have a lot of information. And they probably go over a little bit more detail than I have, but one that's really well versed in solo traps and rally traps is Duck Hunter Gaming. So I'll give him a shout out, because I've learned some stuff from him. Worthy Prince, some of his earlier videos, which he doesn't do a lot of trapping now, but he used to. Sneakytashi, give those two guys a shout out. And yeah, I think that's about it for now. Sorry the video taking so long to do for my buddy who asked me if I could do one. But if there's any other questions or anything, feel free to comment on the video, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, so take care, have a good day, and we'll see you in the next one, whenever that might be. Take care. Bye-bye.